Greetings, GISD community. This is Dr. Stewart with another Student Spotlight. Today I have with me the Salutatorian for the graduating class of 2024 here at Gainesville High School, Mr. Daniel Quevedo. How you doing, Daniel?
Doing great. How about you?
Man, I am great. Thank you for joining me this morning. I look forward to diving into some questions with you, all right?
So am I.
Let's get it started.
Okay.
All right, so tell us about yourself and your family.
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Daniel Quevedo, and I am the class of 2024 Salutatorian. Some of my hobbies, I like to play the guitar, I like to work out, and I like to work on my car. And I was born and raised here in Gainesville, and I am the youngest child of my mom, Yvonne Zarate, and my dad, Juan Quevedo. And I also have an older sister, Melanie, and a little nephew, Mateo.
Well, thank you for sharing, Daniel. And you kind of talked about this just a moment ago, but how long have you been in GISD?
Oh, I've been in GISD my whole life, ever since I was in elementary school all the way up to high school. And yeah, I've enjoyed basically my whole life here.
And I was going to ask you, going from Edison and going all the way up through Gainesville ISD, how have you enjoyed your educational journey?
Oh, I've enjoyed every year of it. Yeah. Since elementary all the way up to high school, I've had wonderful teachers that guided me all the way up to here. Wonderful staff, friends, and yeah, there.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. So, what has been your most memorable year, campus, and teacher during your educational journey in GISD?
So I'd have to say my most memorable year had to be my junior year, mostly because I really bonded with the class of 2023. I had a lot of friends in that class, and my most memorable class and teacher was probably Mr. Pringle. Mr. Pringle and Miss Alex. They're the coolest teachers in the world, I'd say. They are just really easy to talk to. They're just really just down to earth, and you can pretty much talk to them about anything.
So now that you're, of course, eyeballing the finish line, you just have a few weeks before graduation. It's hard to believe in a couple of weeks we're going to be ushering you all across that stage and turning you free to the real world, So where will you be attending college in the fall?
So I will be attending the University of North Texas here in Denton, right next door. And I will be majoring in mechanical engineering. Okay. And I try to focus on finding a career in the automotive field.
Well, why did you choose UNT?
So I chose UNT mostly because of the location. It's close to home, not too far, but also because they're offering me the most amount of money to attend.
Well, that's key.
Yeah.
You talk about, finances and, as I speak to students and speak to parents, of course, that's the number one barrier that a lot of people have to overcome. It's just the mere cost of college. So it's good to know that they're giving you a nice sum of money to offset some of the costs that you'll incur at UNT. So what are your goals for the future, both short-term and long-term?
So my short-term goal would be to excel in college. I'd like to graduate in the top of my class, and just here, now that I'm going to transition to college, just getting to class on time, to just finding an internships, to getting good grades. And for my long-term goal would definitely be to find a career that I love. And like I said before, I love working on cars, so I would definitely try to find a career in the automotive field. And automotive field's really broad, so I could do anything from designing the next new car that you might see driving around, or making new parts.
Okay. So now that you've been here at Gainesville High School for, I'll just go ahead and say 4 years. Yeah. What has been the highlight of your high school career?
So my highlight for my high school year would definitely be finding out my rank. That was by far the most exciting part of my high school career. I remember going to Miss Rich's office and her telling me that I was going to be the salutatorian, and I had kind of a mix of emotions, mostly because I felt a little stressed. I felt a little bit more weight on my shoulders because I didn't want to give up this spot. I also wanted to shoot for, valedictorian, and but I also felt just excited and proud that I got this far and that all the hard work that I put in paid off.
Absolutely. And it's definitely taken a lot of hard work to get you to this point. I mean, I've had the joy and pleasure of working alongside you for the last 4 years and watching you grow from a freshman all the way up to now, man, and just engaging in the conversations about your dual credit class coursework and all of the things that you had going on. So it's definitely it's awesome for me to see the successes, the end results of your hard work. So congratulations. So Daniel, we've talked about the highlights of your senior year and your journey here at the high school. Now I want to ask you something on the total backside of that, and what has been the most challenging times during your 4 years here at high school?
So the most challenging time in high school would probably be finding a balance between my academic life and social life. I know that as a high school student, you're pretty much doing a whole bunch of things. You can be working, you can be taking college classes, high school classes, sports, and just your hobbies. Finding a balance to do all those things can be really challenging.
Well, I'll tell you, Daniel, to get to this point and to achieve the successes that you've achieved in high school, and there's no doubt in my mind that those successes will continue on into college. Having established that balance at such an early age is going to be a skill set that's going to help you again as you transition off to University of North Texas, but it's also going to help you as you transition into adulthood because that juggling act never stops.
Yeah.
From high school to college to real life, it doesn't stop. So for you to be able to have a good firm grasp of that now is only going to help you as you move forward in life. Okay. So were you involved in any extracurricular activities with the school or outside of the school?
Yeah, I was involved in plenty. I was involved in NHS. I was an officer both my junior year and senior year. I was also involved in the Superintendent Advisory Council. I was also involved in Key Club, and I played sports throughout my years. Sophomore year, I was in powerlifting and varsity powerlifting, and junior year, I was in varsity soccer. And yeah.
Well, busy young man.
Yeah.
So now that when you sit back and you reflect upon your educational journey here in GISD from elementary school all the way through high school, how has your experience, I'll say in GISD and at the high school, prepared you for college?
Yeah, so my experience at GISD and in high school has prepared me vastly for my transition to college, mostly because it taught me how to handle my responsibilities as a student. So, getting to class on time, networking with my teachers, just finding a balance in both my academic and social life has really prepared me for my transition to college. And like you said, also, it will prepare me for my journey into my career and basically throughout my whole life.
So what advice would you give students to help them maximize their educational experience at Gainesville High School?
So the advice I would give to the students would definitely be to first get involved. Get involved in anything and everything you can, whether it be sports, extracurricular activities, and definitely take advantage of dual credit. I can't really stress enough about how important dual credit is, because not only does it give you like a head start in college, but it also saves you a bunch of money. And it would also be to take things seriously, especially as a freshman. I know that as a freshman, it's new. High school can be challenging, and just it's a whole new set of experiences. So in your freshman year, make sure to just stay on top of your things, and you should be fine.
Great advice. Great advice. So now that we're, at the tail end of the school year, what are you going to miss most about being in high school?
Oh man, I'm definitely gonna miss just how easy it is to attend here at the high school. Everything's just given there for you. You just do your work and you'll pretty much be fine. You don't really get that in college, so I'm definitely gonna be missing that. Also, just the people, both teachers and students. My friends, I'm gonna miss them. Also, like I said, the teachers, just wonderful teachers here, and also like the football games, the soccer games, sports. Here at the high school, things aren't as competitive in at university, so I'm definitely gonna miss just kind of like just playing with the classmates that I grew up with, and definitely gonna miss, the homecoming games, all the football games, seeing my friends on the field that I grew up with as well.
Okay. So now again, now with college right there in your foreseeable future, what are you looking forward to the most about going to college?
Yeah, so I definitely look forward to meeting new people. Definitely networking, finding new friends, and also just finding new hobbies. You meet somebody with something new that they like to do, and they introduce you to it, and now you like to do it too.
Well, I tell you, college by far was, I had a great high school experience, and I just like yourself had some lifelong friends that I grew up with from Head Start all the way through high school, and when I got off to college, I met a totally different group of friends, and I keep in contact with many of them to this day. And so it's super exciting times to be able to, at least for myself, being from the big city of Waco, Texas,
Yeah.
to meet people from all the different states and different countries and to be able to eat different foods. And so that was super exciting to me, and there's no doubt in my mind that you'll enjoy that as well.
Definitely.
So when you look back as a freshman, when you were a freshman at Gainesville High School, what advice would you give yourself? What is something you wish you would have known or done differently?
I definitely would have told myself that there is a balance to both your academic and social life. Not everything is always about academics. You can relax, have fun. Don't be afraid to take some days off, but of course, be on top of your things. You don't have to overwork yourself, and just find those little pockets in time where you can really just disconnect yourself and just have fun.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for answering all the questions that I asked you this morning. This is the point in the interview where I like to kind of do a role reversal and allow the student to ask me any questions that they may have. So, do you have any questions for Dr. Stewart this morning?
I would like to know, what was the most challenging thing that you faced in college?
The most challenging thing that I faced in college, dang, that's a great question. For me, the most challenging thing was, the responsibility. Because when I went off to college, I went off to college I was 2.5 hours away from home. So, for all of my high school or K-12 education, I always had my mom there, my dad there to hey, get up, make sure you get your homework done. I always had my mom there to keep me on the straight and narrow. When I transitioned off to college, mom wasn't there. For the first few weeks, mom would call. She would call just to make sure I was getting up and whatnot. But then she had that conversation with me and said, okay, I'm going to stop calling. You have an alarm clock. You need to set your alarm clock, and you need to take responsibility of your own learning. And initially, I struggled with that because I had become so dependent upon mom. I get up in the morning, mom cooked breakfast. I get up in the morning, mom had my clothes ironed. And so taking on all of those responsibilities at first was a challenge because I wasn't accustomed to doing that. But I quickly learned because when you talk about of course when you're in college, I went to the cafeterias to eat, but I had to get myself up early enough to get to the cafeteria to eat before my first class. Otherwise, you'd go to class hungry. So I learned very quickly to kind of map out and find that balance because when I went off to college my freshman year, I played basketball. And so I had to not only balance, my basketball responsibilities, I had to balance that with my academic responsibilities. And then I also had to balance that with my personal responsibilities, taking care of myself, doing things that I like to do that was outside of school, but also outside of basketball. And so that to me was the biggest struggle that I had And I had to get it together quick because, again, mom was 2.5 hours away. So that was my biggest struggle, just the whole time management piece.
Yeah, and in college, you know, you don't go to class. They don't do anything for that. So you definitely have to be on top of your things. And
Well, if you didn't go to class back when I was in school, of course, being an athlete, you know, I was on scholarship.
Yeah.
So you got a little extra running, a little extra conditioning, and there was always the possibility of you losing your scholarship, you know. And so that was definitely something that I took great pride in, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't do anything to jeopardize my scholarship while I was in college. But that was a great question.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Quevedo, Salutatorian of the graduating class of Gainesville High School, class of 2024.